Welcome to the October 12th, 2021, 6:15 p.m. open session meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. Prior to approving the agenda, I'd like to read the paragraph on the agenda. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, OML, public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate alternative means. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by joining Zoom meeting ID 833-6548-0732 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Heather Hampson, Administrative Coordinator at hhampson@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 0145 prior to the meeting. And looking around, I don't see Mr. Diskin yet, but we can move on because we have a quorum. I'd like to make one quick plea to the board. I am in central Vermont and I am on a very shaky internet connection this evening. I've spoken to Mr. Diskin about this. If I start to talk funny or freeze, I may lose my connection, at which point I'm going to have to turn to Mr. Diskin, or at this point, the clerk, Mr. Krantz, to pick it up, if you don't mind. Thank you. So first is approve the agenda. May we have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Okay, I'm going to give that one to Mr. I'm not sure who said it first, but I'm going to give that one to Mr. Krantz. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second? Thank you, Ms. Murray. We have a second. Do we have any discussion on the agenda this evening? Hearing none. All in favor? I'm sorry, Mr. King. How do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz.
Aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So next on our agenda this evening is covenant and bond releases, of which we have none. Next agenda item is a public hearing for the definitive subdivision, Wright Road, Stratton Hill. I'm going to discuss these three all in a group. The second is a public hearing for the stormwater management permit for Wright Road at Stratton Hill. And third is a site plan review for the air zoning bylaw, section 9.6, land clearing and grading, Wright Road, Stratton Hill. It continues to be my understanding, and I think Mr. Archambault can correct me, that they have asked us to continue this until, is it the October 26th meeting, Mark?
Yes, correct. And to update the board and everyone else, I left a phone message and an email with Bob Collins, the attorney for the project, asking if October 26th is still their plan for return. And haven't heard back today, though they are scheduled to appear before the Conservation Commission for the conservation analysis this Thursday. So if in fact they need to postpone a little bit, I'll let everybody know as soon as possible.
Thank you very much.
My understanding right now is they're still planning on October 26th.
So I think we need motions to continue these three until the next meeting, please.
And you want them individually, correct, Jeff?
Yes, please.
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we continue the public hearing for the definitive subdivision, White Road, Stratton Hill, to our next Air Planning Board meeting on October 26, 2021.
Seconded.
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Ms. Murray. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz?
Aye.
Ms. Murray?
Aye.
And Mr. Diskin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Chair votes aye. Mr. Krantz, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we continue the public hearing for the stormwater management permit, Wright Road, Stratton Hill, to our next planning board meeting on October 26, 21.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Seconded. Moved by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Ms. Murray. Any discussion? Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz,
Aye.
Ms. Murray,
Aye.
Mr. Diskin,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye.
Like to make a motion that we continue the site plan review, air zoning bylaw, section 9.6, land clearing and grading for Wright Road, Stratton Hill, through to our next meeting on October 26, 21.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Thank you, Ms. Murray, for seconding Mr. Krantz's motion. Any discussion? Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Murray,
Aye.
Mr. Diskin, please.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you very much. Next on our list is the public hearing for the citizens petition rezoning for Harvard Road. Mark, you want to take a minute and kind of kick this off, please?
Yes. Back a little while ago, a few years ago, actually, Mr. Theodore Maxent approached me stating that he believed that the present zoning down at the Harvard Town line, south of the Carlton Rotary, there are 2 lots that he owns. And he wishes to use those lots for commercial or business purposes. But as far as I could tell, at least one of the lots I thought was zoned residential, and the other I thought was zoned GB or general business. I'm going to share my screen because this picture is 1,000 words here. Okay, can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. This is Mr. Mapper, which is our online GIS system in the town. Okay, just south of the cemetery right here, the Woodlawn Cemetery, Mr. Maxent owns 2 lots. 27 Harvard Road, which you see in the blue outline, and 29 Harvard Road, which is the smaller lot that's rectangular right here. When I did my initial research for Mr. Maxent, I went to Mr. Mapper, and as you can see, I scrolled down and I saw that the zoning said general business. So I thought at the time that, okay, he only needs 1 lot to be rezoned, which is this small lot. So I prepared the sample language for the warrant article to help him out, that would have this small lot rezoned to general business from general residence. So that is what was advertised in the public hearing notice and is what the town meeting warrant for the October 25th special town meeting has. But unfortunately, the actual zoning we later discovered for this larger lot, which Mr. Mapper initially told me was zone GB, this is actually zone general residence as far as we can tell. So I apologize for that mistake. And what this probably means is that there'll be a need for another citizen petition in the spring to get all of his properties, both lots, zoned to general business. But when Carly Antonellis and I met with Mr. Maxent last week or 10 days ago or so, he stated his desire to go to town meeting for this small rectangular lot and have this rezoned. So what the planning board would need to do, just like any other zoning article proposed by themselves or another body, is make a recommendation to the town meeting that the rezoning as proposed proceed. However, there's not enough time to correct my error and incorporate this larger lot into the fall town meeting warrant this time. Whoops. So we'll have to do that at a future date. So basically, what's before the board tonight is to rezone this small rectangular parcel right at the Harvard line from general residence to general business. And Mr. Maxent is, I believe, in the audience this evening, so he can also describe his desires. I see Mr. Krantz is asking
Yeah.
a question.
I've noticed Mr. Krantz and I believe Mr. King both have questions. So
Yes.
Do you, let me ask this question up front. Guys, do you want to ask your questions of Mark or are these of Mr. Maxon? Should we let Mr. Maxon speak
Of
first? or-
Mark.
Okay,
Yes.
Mark, given that the lot that's in general residence has been used as a business for decades, right? For the gas station there.
Right.
Is there any provision for that for that long of an uncontested commercial use? That there's no default protection that would help Mr. Maxon in this case?
Not that I believe. That's a very good in-depth legal question that would take substantial time, probably more time than just doing the process in 2 steps, 1 lot at a time.
Does that inhibit his own business though, while he waits in this 2-step process? I mean, is he going to be able to launch his honey hut?
Well, he can seek other remedies in the meantime. I think we're not really here right now to discuss the site plan issues for his eventual business, but to rezone at least one of the properties so that, over time, all of his property here is zoned for business. That's the best I can offer right now.
Thank you, Mark. Mr. King, do you have a comment? I thought I saw your hand go up.
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Diskin, I think I saw you. Mark, maybe you can unshare the screen, please.
No, leave
Yes.
it, leave it.
Oh, no, leave it. I'm sorry. Leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Go ahead.
So for clarification, Mark, backtrack again and highlight the small lot and go down on the,
Yeah, I'll
Graphic
trace
to where
the
it says
perimeter
general
of the
residence,
small
please.
lot right here.
yeah, highlight
that
the lot,
fronts- Yeah, this lot right here.
then drag
is,
it down. Yeah.
And when you scroll down, that tells us it's zone general residence.
Right.
Which,
So I wanted you to point out that you hadn't
That is
done that
actually-
before for clarification that there's a discrepancy here in Mr. Mapper. So I'm contending it's not your fault. It's just a software issue. That in fact, they are both general residents and for some reason the other one got marked general business. And the zoning map is what rules in this case, I believe, right? The zoning map
Right.
shows it as general residence.
correct.
Okay, so that's for clarification only, Mr. Chairman, that the zoning map is what we're talking about, showing that as general residence.
No, I appreciate that. And I do know that we've had discussions about in the future, when this comes up, we'll check in. Somehow the information in Mr. Mapper doesn't reflect exactly what's going on. Correct, Mark?
Yes, I learned that lesson the hard way when my
Okay.
heart sunk when I realized the mistake.
Okay.
And
So anyway,
anyway.
any other questions from members of the board before we hear from Mr. Maxon? I mean, yes, I can't see the names on the screen anymore. So,
I've got another
Mark?
question.
yeah, Mr. Diskin, go ahead, please.
So for clarification, I gotta change my speaker, sorry. Okay, there we go. We are basically here tonight to endorse the request by a citizen to change the zoning at town meeting. We're not doing anything further than that. We're making an endorsement that we agree that this is a logical change.
Right, and I should also add that this is a public hearing, so the public,
Right.
obviously should and can be afforded an opportunity to comment on Mr. Maxon's proposal.
Right, so for clarification, we need to read if we, in fact, the hearing and notice and open the hearing, is that correct?
Yes,
Which, have we done that?
No.
I don't think we have done that so far. I just wanted to get the request of the chairman. I just outlined the issues that were involved.
Thank you, Mr. Diskin. So now we've got the issues in front of us. Why don't we go ahead? Mr. Krantz, do you happen to have a copy of the announcement, or Mark, do you have it?
I thought I had it. I might have to ask Heather if she has the public hearing notice. I am not finding the public hearing notice itself.
I sent it to Jonathan just before the meeting, but I can forward it on to Mark as well, so he can read it.
Thank you, Heather, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I don't know, guys, we've lost our Zoom chops.
Okay, I'm just waiting for the inbox to refresh here when Heather sends me.
Okay, I got it. Would you like?
Okay, you have it,
Mr.
Jonathan?
Chair, would
Okay,
you like me to read the announcement? You have to forgive me. My eyes are going to be away from the Zoom to read this, but I got it.
Please go ahead. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Prince.
Public hearing notice for an amendment to the air zoning bylaw, citizens petition to rezone 29 Harvard Road from general residence to general business. Town of Air Planning Board, public hearing notice pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 5. The Air Planning Board will conduct a remote public hearing at 6:15 PM on Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. This was originally scheduled as an in-person meeting, but will be on Zoom, on a citizen's petition warrant article for an amendment to the air zoning map. The citizen's petition article proposes to rezone the lot at 29 Harvard Road, map 35, lot 22, from general residence to general business. This 0.76 acre lot is surrounded by a larger 5.3 acre lot at 27 Harvard Road, map 35, lot 21, which is zoned general business. I'm just reading it verbatim per the notice.
Thank you.
It is contended by the petitioner that this section of Air Harvard Road south of the Carlton Rotary has been developed as a commercial corridor, and a small isolated lot zone residential is not in keeping with the zoning of the surrounding area. The full text of the proposed citizens petition article can be found on the Town of Air's website at https://www.air.ma.us, and paper copies can be obtained at the town clerk's office at the Air Planning Department in the Air Town Hall during normal business hours. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the proposed amendment to the zoning map is advised to contact the planning board office prior to October 8th, 2021, or call into the meeting that will be live streamed on Zoom and APAC on October 12th, 2021. Please call 978-772-8220, extension 144, or email hhampson@air.ma.us for Zoom information.
Thank you, Mr. Krantz, for reading that notice. Do we need to take any other action, Mark, to open the hearing?
No, I believe we're ready to open the hearing.
Thank you very much. And so I appreciate that we made some comments before we reading of the notice, but I think they were all done in with best intent in mind, excuse me. The chat just popped on my screen and I'm not sure what that is, but do we have any other comments from board members, please?
Well, I can read you the chat. The question in the chat is what's interesting is, given that the public hearing was written with the lot as general business, the question is, can this even be voted on due to the inaccuracy of the other lot not currently being zoned as general business as written?
In my professional opinion, it can be, since it was something that was completely unintentional, something that can be explained at the town meeting, and something which is being explained at the public hearing this evening. If the planning board desires, we can ask that question of town council specifically, but in my opinion, I believe we should go forward with the public hearing, and we can answer that question before the town meeting vote, certainly.
Okay, and for people who are not on the Zoom, the chat was submitted, and I can't see the name again. I'm sorry.
Odette?
Yeah, I only get Odette, and I'm sorry, Odette. I can't tell you what your last name is because the way my screen shows up, but the residents of 33 Groton Shirley Road. Thank you. I personally, from Odette, yes, I don't have your last name, but we'll go with Odette. Thank you, from 33 Groton Shirley Road. Oh, Michael Odette. Thank you. He just put it in the chat. Great. I've lost my Zoom chops, guys. I actually think I would personally hope that we can move forward on this. We got town meeting coming up at the end of the month on the 25th, I believe. Mr. Maxon has gone out and gotten some support here in the town. This is somewhat of a clerical error, I believe. It does put a burden to do it again, but I think, honestly, I personally would like to see it move forward. We were supportive of his getting the citizens petition done earlier in the year, and I'm just going to say that as my personal position. not as the chair, but as my personal position on the board about it. Do you have any other comments from members of the board before we open up
Yes.
to public comment? Yes, Mr. Krantz and Mr.
Very
King.
quickly,
Next, please.
I agree with you, Jeff, that we can move forward because the clerical error in the public hearing has no material bearing on what's before us tonight, which is the other lot. So I think that we're on solid ground.
Thank you very much. Mr. King, you had a comment?
Well, I think you just need to do a friendly amendment if there's any question during the meeting. And see
During the
if
town meeting?
Yeah,
town
see if the
meeting.
town, if the town approves the
thank you.
friendly amendment, then, or even easier.
Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll, if you don't mind, but thank you. That's a great idea. Anything else from the board members? I'd like to open it up. Ask Mr. Maxon if he has anything he'd like to add to this, and then we'll open it up to questions for anybody who has zoomed in. Mr. Maxon. If you're speaking, sir, you're on mute. You may not be there.
Would you like me to stop screen
Oh,
sharing?
okay.
We might
No.
be able to see.
He's here. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you,
okay.
Mr. Maxon.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Well, the most important thing is that lot that is presently clearly zoned residential and has never been used as a commercial establishment. I think the wisest path for me to follow is to get the small lot zoned general business, and then in the spring to do the housekeeping on the rather larger lot. It's okay with me. I just don't want to go back and sit at the dump anymore and start collecting signatures all over.
Oh, we miss you up there, Mr.
Yeah,
Maxon, but thank
know.
you very
It was
much.
kind of a long day, but I got to tell you one thing. I've been working at this property for 4 months now, and the entrance and exits at the gas station across the street make residential use of this property not possible. It really should have been, and probably would be the best use is to be general business. I don't see how anybody could live there with the amount of traffic that's being generated by Alltown.
Well, thank you.
So I hope the town agrees with me and zones this one parcel general business, and then at the annual town meeting, we'll tackle the other one to clean it up.
Fantastic. Thank you. Anybody in the general audience have any input? Please just unmute yourselves and start speaking.
Mr. Tillotson, Pauline Conley, Cambridge Street.
Mhm.
If the planning board is inclined to support the petition article as currently submitted to the town meeting warrant, as you indicated you did on August 24th, I would like to see that occur because procedurally, it may well be possible to amend the petition at town meeting and take care of this once and for all, as I think Mr. Krantz said. I don't remember if it was him or Mr. Diskin, that it was a typographical error. That's the wrong word, but that's not the word you all used, but you get my point. So Mr. Maxon went through all this effort for months, collected almost 150 signatures, which is very unusual, has a lot of support in the community. And if nothing else, he at least deserves to make his pitch to town meeting. So I hope the planning board will support it and will move the petition article, which at this point, Mr. Maxon cannot do since he's not a resident of the town. That's just my thoughts.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add at this point? Hearing none. Any further conversation amongst the board members? Or do we want to put a motion together to support this?
Jonathan, you want to go ahead?
Yes, I was just looking for the language. Does anyone know what, I lost track of the lot number.
Okay, it's ready. It's parcel 35-2229 Harvard Road.
Get it
Okay,
on the
got it.
screen.
I'd like to make a motion that we endorse the warrant article submitted by Mr. Maxon to rezone parcel 35-2229 Harvard Road from residential or general residential to general business.
Second,
Thank you, Eds. Moved by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Mr. Diskin. Any further comments from the board? Hearing none. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Krantz.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Murray.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Diskin.
aye.
And the chair makes it unanimous. Thank you very much. I don't know what can happen at town meeting, and I hope, Mr. Maxon, I hope if they decide to go forward with the friendly amendment, that will be acceptable to you and maybe a good way to move forward on this without waiting till the spring. But thank you very much.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
So
Mr.
I think we
Chair?
need to,
Can I just
Yes.
interject real quick?
I'm sorry, yes.
I just can't help but remember the town meeting where we all voted, or many people voted to keep the transfer station alive. And as Mr. Maxon is talking about how that helped him get community involvement, it just made me chuckle to think that is how we do a lot of our town business around here.
And I agree. And as a second aside to that, I'm a fairly new resident to town. I had to get nomination papers signed. People say to me, why don't you have a trash service? It's like going to the market. It's where I see my neighbors, you know? So thank you very much. Should we close the public hearing, please? Do we need to do anything to close the public hearing?
Yes, there should be a motion to close. Yep.
Please
So
make a
moved.
motion. Yeah. Move to close the hearing by Mr. Krantz. Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Mr. Diskin, seconding. Hearing no discussion. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz,
Aye.
Ms. Murray,
Aye.
Mr. Diskin,
aye.
the chair votes aye. Next on our agenda is a site plan review for 99 Fitchburg Road. I see a bunch of folks here. I don't recognize their names. It looks like, is it Mr. Timula? Did I get
It is.
anywhere close? Huh?
That's perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Oh, come on, tell me the truth. How do you pronounce your name, please, sir?
Tamula.
Tamula, thank you very much. And
Nope, no problem.
I'm Jody Amadin. Thank you. I get to, okay. My mother gave me a tough name, so I'm struggling with these three. And the third person would be Sandra. And could you,
Yes,
how
good
you-
evening.
and Sandra, how do you
Gay.
pronounce? Sandra Gay, thank
Silent
you very
U.
much.
Gay.
We will do our best to not, the rest of the board won't butcher your names as bad as I did, okay?
It's
Well,
okay.
thank you much for being here. Mark, you want to,
Yeah, I'll just give a few opening comments.
appreciate that, Mark.
Yeah, basically, this is at 99 Fitchburg Road, right up against the Shirley line where the Nashua River is. And it's a site plan application for, let's see, storage and distribution of propane. And a fairly simple site plan, in my opinion, involves construction of a 1,200 square foot pole barn that would enclose the 4 propane tanks.
Cool.
And we did receive several comments from town officials. One of which is from the police department that I think we need to probably hold a site visit to ascertain, which is he believed that the traffic circulation there might be or actually the radius might be too tight for tractor trailers or whatever trucks might be used. So that's something we can look into. And I also recommend that the planning board schedule a site visit before acting on the plan. But they submitted a very thorough application package. I believe the plan is complete according to our checklist. So one of the first actions the planning board should take is to accept the plan for consideration. And other than that, I'm hoping that the applicants have a plan set that they can share with us to walk us through the plan.
Fantastic,
Is,
thank you.
I'd like to get a little bit better understanding of how everything will be flowing as well.
Great, thank you.
Mo-
Mr. Krantz, can I
Yeah,
get a
I'd like to
motion,
make a
please?
motion that we accept the plan for review for 99 Fitchburg Road.
Thank
Seconded.
you. Seconded by Ms. Murray. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz,
Aye.
Ms. Murray,
Aye.
Mr. Diskin?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Thank you very much. Who wants to talk?
I will go first.
Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, board members. Thank you, Mark, for all your help. My name is Sandra Gay. I'm a permitting consultant and agent for Energy North. As you've seen, Chris Tamula is here tonight. He is the project engineer. He's with Greenman Peterson. Also, Jody Amaden is here. She's with Crown Energy Solutions, and she can respond to if the board has any questions about the tanks themselves. So thank you. The introduction, I think, really pretty much explained what we're doing here. We did note that there needs to be a consolidation of these lots back into one lot. So we will be submitting an application to the board very shortly, an A&R application to consolidate those. There was also a comment in the memo about a proposed office building. There is no proposed office building at this time. The only structure there, other than the tanks themselves, will be the pole barn for protection of the bobcats. And not covered in the application, but the board may be interested in the traffic, the trucks that are anticipated by Energy North at the facility. And in the height of winter, when this facility gets most used, Energy North anticipates 1 to 2 large transport trucks, 4 to 5 days a week, and no Sundays unless there's an emergency. And the small bobtails traffic should not exceed 6 to 9 trucks per day, and that includes sales to other residential suppliers. And Energy North will have the 2 to 3 trucks on site under the pole barn. With that, I think Chris can go over the site plan and respond to the DPW had a question, I believe. Jody can respond to the fire department's questions and again answer any questions the board may have about the tanks. And I think with that, Chris, if you want to take it.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra. Everybody can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everybody. For the record, Chris Tamula, I'm a project manager with Greenman Peterson, where our offices are located up here in Salem, New Hampshire. So what I'd like to do is basically just kind of go through a couple of the sheets in the plan set. What we're looking at right now is the existing condition survey plan that was prepared by our office. As you can see, there's 3 lots, lot 5, lot 6, and lot 7. In total, these lots encompass approximately 2.8 acres of land located in the light industrial district. As I'm sure you're all aware, the site consists mostly of grass and wooded areas. There's some existing gravel areas along lot 5, and the site is bordered by Groton Shirley Road to the south, commercial developments to the north and the west, and a railroad right-of-way along the east side of the site. What we're looking to do here, as I'm sure again you're all aware, is develop the site for 2 30,000-gallon above-ground propane fuel storage tanks, which would be surrounded by 6-foot chain link fencing and guardrails for crash protection. In addition to that, we are proposing a 1,200 square foot pole barn. It's called a pole barn, as I'll show you in a little bit, as basically it's a structure that is essentially poles holding up a roof, and it's just there to protect the bobtail trucks from weather. As you can see, everything along the site here in this gray color will be a gravel area. We're providing 2 curb cuts, a 40-foot wide curb cut along Groton Shirley Road here, and a 35-foot curb cut along Groton Shirley Road here. In addition to the pole barn structure and the above ground propane storage tanks, We're also providing snow storage along the sides and the rear to make sure that the site is has adequate snow storage on the site. We have site lighting throughout the site with some pole lights that are all dark sky compliant and downlit, and minimizing any light trespass on abutting properties as well as the roadway system itself. Jump ahead here. And in order to develop the parcel, what we're providing is an above ground infiltration basin located in the rear of the site. The entire site today, there are no stormwater improvements on site, and generally the site flows in a south to north manner. So we're maintaining that same flow for the stormwater management system. The entire gravel area will basically just be sheet flow into a sediment forebay, and then, like I said earlier, an above ground infiltration basin. And this basin will be surrounded by a fenced enclosure for safety and accessibility for maintenance. During construction, obviously there will be erosion control concerns. So we have the entire site. We have silt fence along the sides and rear of the site. We have a temporary stockpiling area, and we also have a stabilized construction entrance to minimize any vehicle tracking of dirt leaving the site. With regards to the comments from, I believe it's the police department, this plan here basically shows our truck turn circulation for the tanker truck. From an access point of view, the tanker truck will offload in this general location here. They'll enter the site by taking a left, circulate around, offload here, and then ultimately leave the site. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, I believe the concern may be from this point of view, where the tanker truck is actually exiting out essentially the entrance driveway. But from an off-site point of view, they do maintain that they are in the correct lane along the roadway system itself. It should be noted that when the tanker truck is basically sitting here in this general location and they are ultimately leaving the site, it's not like we have a lot of traffic coming into the site and in and out of the site. The really only traffic coming in and out of the site is the tanker truck and the bobtail trucks. The bobtails are these smaller trucks, your typical smaller propane truck. So from a visibility point of view and from an access management point of view, there really should be no concern with if the tanker truck is sitting here and they are exiting the site. There really shouldn't be any issue from a traffic point of view. As I mentioned earlier, we did increase these driveway widths to make sure that we are keeping the tanker truck, especially within the roadway system, on the correct side of the road, which is why we're showing a 35-foot wide driveway here and a 40-foot wide driveway here. And I believe the other comment was with regards from the police department with the parking spaces. So we are showing 2 parking spaces here, but we do have 4 bobtail parking spaces in here, which are under a locked gated system. So really these 2 parking spaces are really more for overflow parking. Essentially what happens is these 4 trucks are undercover. When somebody comes there to basically go to work, they come in, they unlock the gate, they leave, they exit out through the bobtail with the bobtail vehicle, and then they could actually put their car back in the under the system itself. So we don't really need 4 or 6 parking spaces outside of what's underneath the barn structure itself. And then the example of the carport that we've done before is essentially a structure like this. So obviously now you can kind of see why it's called a pole barn. It's just really pole structures here and just a covered roof. And it's really, again, more just to protect the vehicles and the employees during inclement weather, and make sure that there's a safe place for them to be at, for the vehicle itself. That's really kind of it from a presentation point of view from the site plans. I know Jody is here, and I'm sure she can answer any questions related to operations, the tanks themselves, et cetera. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if Jody wants to jump in, feel free to do so as well.
Okay, my name is Jody Amadon, and I work with Crown Energy Consulting. They are the construction company that would be installing the tanks. I met in May with the fire chief, Chief Johnson, and Lieutenant Bozek to do the fire safety analysis. Fire safety analysis is a state and federal requirement for any propane installation of more than 4,000 gallons. I completed that and submitted that back to the department for review, and they found it acceptable. I've made myself available for any questions for them and any questions that the board might have.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Do we have any questions from the board members at this point in time?
Yes, I have a question.
Go
And
ahead, Mr. Krantz,
Forgive
please.
me, the engineer probably said this earlier and I missed it. But most of that, are we talking about permeable gravel all the way around or asphalt all the way around? What's the general context?
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it would all be like a hard pack gravel.
Okay.
It's not pavement or anything like that.
Got it.
Thank you. And I'm going to let the applicant know, and you've not been before this board before. We're very limited with the Zoom. I can't see who's what. By all means, speak up, okay, to get my attention, because at this point I have 4 people on my screen and a plan. So if you do have something to add, you're not going to bother me if you're going to interrupt a little bit.
So
we will get to.
Would you like me
I'm sorry.
to stop sharing my screen, Mr. Chairman?
No, I can make it larger and smaller. It's just so the challenge for Zoom is I can't hear or see people in the room, and oftentimes you can tell from body language what somebody wants to say. And when they gasp, you know they have something to say. Zoom takes that all away from us. So no, I appreciate that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Krantz.
Mr. Audette asked in chat if the entrances and exits are exclusive to Fitchburg Road only.
Yeah. So Jonathan, thank you. What we're going to do is we'll handle chat during the public comment section, please. Okay. I do appreciate that, and I'm not sure what the actual protocol is, but we're going to put that during the public portion of it. So Ms. Amadin was talking about meeting with the fire department, and these plans are okay with our fire department. We're curious about the turning traffic from the police. We'll let the board, I will speak for the board and letting you guys know that we take our public safety officials' opinions to heart. So we can always work things out, but we take them to heart. So I'd like to, if we do have, I would like to put a site visit together, and I would like to have that kind of, it helps us to look at it. I mean, I am out of town, but I took a moment to ride by the property the other day, and it's very difficult for me in my mind's eye to see how this is going to end up sitting on the property. I'm going to ask a question if you don't mind. Do you have a landscape plan of any sort at this point?
At this time, we're not proposing any landscaping, although we're not opposed to any landscaping if the board has any reservations of having us add any landscaping to the plans.
Mr. Chair.
I appreciate that. The reason I'm asking, yes, Mr. King, excuse me. The reason I'm asking is it's difficult to see through there now because of the wild screening, if you will, that's there. And I'm not sure that not having screening is a good or a bad thing. I will also let you all know my internet connection just became unstable, or it's telling me. So if I suddenly disappear, Mr. Diskin is in charge until I can get back. I'm in the hinterlands. Mr. King, you had a comment, please?
Just quick, because it's relevant to the landscaping plan. If the applicant could tell us what the intent is, and I think this would be a good reason to have a landscaping plan for the area in lot 5, currently shown as gravel. It looks like it'll become a stockpile, but what was the finished state? What's the intent for the finished state of that property?
Sure, absolutely. And I can address that pretty easily, I think. So 1 second here. So I assume you're speaking of this area here. So yeah, so basically what this plan is this is our grading, drainage, and erosion control plan all in one. So this is just a temporary stockpile area for during construction. Once construction is over, this would be removed. It is surrounded by silt fence and hay bales. And everything that's basically not within the limits of gravel, which are these this dash line, everything outside that line would basically be back to loam and seed.
So ultimately, it'll be a turf. It'll be
Correct.
turf. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's helpful for us to understand. I mean, I know you want to make the property look as presentable as possible to the world, but that there's a certain I don't know, je ne sais quoi about the way that road is now. It goes from industrial into wild pretty quickly up in that end of it. Any other comments from people, members of the board at this point, Mr. Diskin?
Yes, I got a few things. So leave that one up if you would. So I do have a problem with the gravel, especially where the gravel meets the town road. I suggest that the applicant pave the section where the road meets our town road and bring it into their site before they turn it into gravel. So I'd like to see paving into the site on both the entrance and exit, especially insofar as where trucks are turning. They're apt to churn up that gravel, throw it all over our town pavement area. So I'm suggesting that when they apply for the curb cut, they'll find that they need to improve their entrances and comply with whatever our curb cut requirements are. And those could, for all intents and purposes, include the granite curbing and paving and other amenities where you're going to meet the existing paving. So you better concentrate on that because that's something that I'll be looking for. The gravel, I just think is an inexpensive alternative and doesn't really going to get chewed up as far as I'm concerned. So I would be opposed to gravel anywhere near in the town right of way and as it enters into the site. I guess I would ask Mark and the applicant if there's any waivers that are anticipated so far, if you feel that the application was complete and the landscaping was mentioned, and I thought we did have a requirement for a landscape plan under site plan approval. So I'm curious as to why there's no landscape plan. If the application is complete and we would consider all the drawings to be included in that, I think we need a landscape plan, which shows an effort to screen and comply with whatever we're looking for.
Thank you. Do you have anything else, Mr. Diskin?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
So
Because I have a couple too, but why don't you go through them and we'll see if you caught them also. Go ahead.
So are we talking about having one-way signage? You discussed the fact that the entrance would be on whatever side that is. To me, it looks like west on the plan, but it's probably north. And exiting on the other side. So I'm asking Chris if that's part of the anticipation. There'll be signage to indicate that that is a one-way in and one-way out. So someone coming down the street, a driver just doesn't make a mistake and go in the wrong way. Chris?
Yep. Yeah, I can answer everything at once or step by step.
Okay, I'll keep going for a second.
Sure.
So you heard the question about if you're going to request any waivers to our site plan approval. Lastly, I have something that's going to be of interest to everybody, and it's a little bit complicated. And this is for the attorney as well. So I noticed that you had originally purchased two lots. I think they're lots 6 and 7 on your plan, but I think they're lots 2 and 3 on the original layout. And then there was an amendment and the language of the amendment says that the buyer discovered that the premises will not comply with zoning requirements for the town to allow the buyer to obtain certain permits and construct the improvements. And therefore you needed to buy an additional lot to get to the 120,000 square foot requirement. And unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to point out that
Please do.
I think we have a typo in that table. And the table, in fact, should be 20,000 square feet and not 120,000 square feet. And this being the first project that we've seen since we amended the zoning regulations in 2018, somehow when we carried over the previous light industrial zone lot size minimum, an error seems to have been made. I just found this out like an hour ago when I was trying to figure out, that's why I was late, why this 120,000 requirement was there. So I'd like to propose that I don't know if I want to create a problem for the applicant or the seller or the buyer or anything else illegal, but we may have a small issue here that we simply have a typo in our table 6.2, I think it is, schedule of dimensional requirements. In this lot, these lots in light industrial always intended to be a 20,000 square foot per lot minimum, not 120,000 square foot. So
And
I'm pointing-
if I may, Mr. Diskin, a little bit of background on this for the folks at the table. When we did the upgrades and changed the formatting of our bylaw, we intentionally didn't change the dimensions.
right,
So we were a little surprised to see that it went from 20 to 120. And as Mr. Diskin said, this was discovered this afternoon. He did bring it to my attention, honestly, just before the meeting. And we couldn't end game it. We couldn't figure out what it meant to whomever. So I just want to let you know that that's a question we have right now.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead,
if
Mr.
I may.
Archambault. Go ahead, please.
Question, when I saw the 120,000 square foot in our table, I thought that was correct, that was just being carried over. And I thought that there was a rationale that light industry often has offices and different appurtenances. And then I found it interesting too, that the 3 lots that would need to be consolidated in order to receive a building permit for the one operation total 120,000 square feet. So when with my understanding, which may not be correct, that the 3 lots were split at one time from one lot, that the one lot was created to be 120,000 square
No.
feet. To me, it looked like the zoning was correct.
yeah, what happened, Mr. Chairman, I
No,
got a
please
copy.
do.
I still have a copy of the 2009 zoning regulations because I worked on those changes. So I looked it up today, and much to my, not really to my surprise, but I found that the table was always 20,000 for light industrial. And in all probability, these lots were compliant forever and ever and ever at 40,000 square feet each from the plan that they did, I think in the year 2000 by David Ross Associates. So anyway, I'm bringing it up because I'm not sure if it helps or hurts the applicant, but I think it's something we need to straighten out. And it appears to be just simply a typo. That's all it is. And as you mentioned earlier, we made a valid point, and I had to answer a question on town meeting floor, I think, about this, that we intended not to change any dimensional regulations when we changed our zoning in 2018. So we pointed it out specifically that we had no intention of changing any of those dimensional requirements. And I think it's just a typo. That's all it is when a table was generated.
And I'll say, after going through and checking it, apologize that it got through. Mr. Diskin, so he's put that on the table for you all, for all of us. Do you have anything else that you wanted to ask, Mr. Diskin?
Hold on just a second, please.
Mr.
May I?
Chair,
Yes,
could I
please.
I just want clarification on this. We had been working on this for a while and been told by Mr. Schultz and by Mark. I mean, so consistently that it was 120. So is that for sure that it's not 120,000 square feet, that it's 20? Or is that something that needs clarification?
I think you just you just put your finger right on it, Ms. Guy. And that is, Ms. Gay, excuse me, and that is between 4 o'clock this afternoon and 6 o'clock this evening. We can't get you that answer.
Okay. So it's still not certain. We're waiting for.
It's not certain. It's just Mr. Diskin has been involved with this for as you can tell, he's our detail guy.
I can tell.
He's our MVP. He's our detail guy.
Come on.
This is his career. His career was done in this world. So I wanted to ask a question, maybe lighten the mood for a moment while Mr. Diskin gets to his next question, if I may. Chris, I'm going to throw this to you. On the bottom center of the diagram of the plan in front of me, it looks like another infiltration basin. I can't get it large enough on my screen. Could you? That's it. Could you go up?
Sure.
What are those concentric rings in the front there? Or is
Yeah,
that just elevation? Thank you.
Yeah, I can answer that, Mr. Chairman. So as it is right now, stormwater generally flows from the roadway into the site, and then ultimately across the site.
Got it.
Seeing as that we're proposing the storage tanks here, and we have the structure here, we're basically picking up the roadway stormwater with just a shallow little swale, and we have a head wall here. So this will collect anything that's coming off the road into this little swale, and then it'll discharge it through a pipe and then out to the back.
Thank you. I assume that's what it was.
Yep.
I apologize because I'm on my laptop, which is really small, and I got old eyes. I could not,
No
I
worries.
couldn't get it large enough, but thank you very much.
No worries.
Um,
And if the chair wants, I can, go through some of the other comments that Mr. Diskin had, or unless there's other questions that the board also has.
Ken, do you mind if he starts answering, or how do you want to handle it?
I got one more, then I'll be over.
Go ahead, please.
So, Chris, in the stormwater management report, okay, there's a table number 1 there, that talks about the peak rate analysis summary. At the bottom of that table, there's a small paragraph, and the second sentence, it says, will result in no change or decrease in post-development peak flow rates for all storms analyzed. So basically a little paragraph explaining what the graph is. It's on your page 3, the numbered page 3 of the stormwater report, okay?
Yep.
Now on page 6, there's a standard number 2 that talks about post-development. And I don't have the whole thing in front of me, I just abbreviated it, but basically I believe it says there'll be a decrease in post-development. There seems to be a contradiction between the two, table 1 and then on page 3 and page 6, standard number 2.
Yeah, and I can answer all that.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Timula, let's go.
That's it.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I can tell by Mr. Diskin's voice when I think he's done for a moment. So,
Yeah. So, all right. So I'll try to answer these as best I can. So with regards to landscaping, as I'd mentioned, so we basically took our site plan, and because we have the gravel areas and then there's areas that aren't gravel, which would be loam and seed, we were taking that as our quote unquote landscaping plan. We weren't providing any new landscape plantings. Although, from hearing from the board tonight, we can certainly add some to the plans. Obviously, we want to make sure that we don't have any large trees, bushes, et cetera, that are going to influence any negative site distance application. So, but we can definitely add some screening onto the site where appropriate. With regards to the one-way signage, go back here. So again, we were not anticipating proposing any one-way directional flows. We have a 40-foot wide curb cut here. We have a 35-foot wide curb cut here. Again, the intent is, let me just draw real quickly here. So if this was your tanker truck, he would be sitting here, and this is the offload area. When he leaves the site, in order to stay in, if I just kind of do a little dash line here, so essentially that's sort of the right of way within the roadway. In order for him to leave the site and not cross over this into the oncoming traffic that's coming in this direction, we had to make a wider driveway here. And in order for him to make the swing around and do this, we have a 35-foot wide driveway. We would have to make an extremely wide radius here. And again, it's not like you're going to be having vehicles coming in and out like a normal commercial type driveway you would have. If one of these bobtail trucks, which is essentially the size of this, and this is essentially the size of a tractor trailer offloading, if he is ready to leave and somebody is coming into the site, obviously he's not going to make the turning movement. We don't really see there being a conflict with any of the bobtails coming in or the vehicle coming out. Again, I have not had a chance to talk to the police department. Maybe their concern really was more of what's going on here, but the only thing I can see is that maybe their concern was what's going on with the interaction of vehicles entering and exiting here.
Excuse me,
Sure.
while you're discussing that,
Yep.
I may be the one board member who has experience with large trucking operations, small and large ones. Will there be anybody? There's no office building on this property. I've made the assumption, I could be totally wrong. There will be nobody. This is an unmanned operation. This is going to be handled
Correct.
by the truck drivers themselves.
Correct.
They have, so there is no, there's no truck traffic control anywhere on the property.
Correct.
I worked with one of the great, you see the trucks all over our area. They deliver water to the homes. And it's a very different operation, but okay, thank you very much. So basically it's 2 large tanks for parking for 4 trucks, and the drivers will be required to have the skill level needed to do complete their tasks while they're there.
Yeah, and this is a real case of really that the site would be self-regulating. You know, there's plenty of visibility for anybody. You know, if the truck is coming out and or if they're ready to leave, there's plenty of sight line and plenty of visibility for them to leave the site without having any impacts. It's not like these trucks are going to be coming in, you know, 15, 20 trucks a day. It's not like we're going to have, you know, 30, 40 bobtails coming in and out. They're going to be very staggered. You know, it's the trucks are run by Energy North. So there's flexibility in when they come, and it just, you know, we've done these before, and it's not usually an issue out here. But again, I think I can have a discussion with the police department, find out what their concern was. Again, maybe it's not this area here. Maybe it isn't within the roadway. I just don't know because I have not spoken to them yet.
Okay, thank you. And
Sure.
if you don't mind, quickly, tractor trailer tanker truck, how much propane does it hold?
Jody, you may be able to answer that question.
Roughly 10,000 gallons.
And the tanks themselves hold I can't see the numbers
30.
on this. They're 30.
30.
Well,
So 3 trucks. So we got 3 trucks filling a tank. And what does a bobcat? What does the bobtail truck hold roughly?
Roughly 3,400.
So okay, thank you. So 10 bobtails roughly get filled by 1 tank, and 1 tank is roughly filled by 3 tractor trailers. Plus or minus based on the weather conditions and heat and stuff like that. Okay, thank you. Just
You good,
helping
Jody?
us understand.
Jody, you good?
Yeah, it's close
I'm
enough.
sorry, I went really quickly. 30,000 gallon tank being
Well,
30,000 gallon tank.
They're
Yeah.
not filled to 100%. They're only filled to 80%. And
Yeah,
so it's roughly it's roughly each transport is 3 bobtails.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, it lets people figure out how many trucks are going to come in and come out and stuff like that. It's just a layman like us can figure it out that way. But thank you.
Sure. I think the next question was any waivers. We're not asking for any waivers, although it's my understanding that the driveway widths do need approval by the planning board since they are larger than 24 feet. So I'm not sure if that's a waiver per se, or if that's just part of the approvals.
I'm not sure if that's a condition or a waiver, Mark. Do you know?
I believe that's part of the approvals.
So it'd be a condition of the approval. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. I had a quick question relating to landscaping. For when I went to the site to take a few photographs to at least just get the lay of the land, in the green area that you see here, there's existing shrubs and you know, low growth.
Mhm.
How much of that are you planning to retain, if any?
Sure.
Because right now, you know, it does prevent you from seeing a lot into the site.
Yep.
It was a little confusing out there where one lot began and the other ended, because you have
Sure.
this very large building in the back and you have this huge expansive lawn. So it was really hard for me to tell exactly where the lot line boundaries were. And that's something
Okay.
we can get from a site visit.
Yeah, and you know, if the board does need a site visit, we can stake out approximate property lines. We can stake out approximate driveway locations, where the structures would be for ease of everything out there. So basically, I'll kind of draw this really crudely. So there's an existing tree line that runs kind of along the front of the property, and it wraps around, kind of goes up like this into the back. This dark green line. Now here, this is the new tree line, and then there's a small tree line here. So basically, if I delete this, that's the old, and this was the new tree line here and the new tree line here. So there's plenty of visibility in the front here. What I envision if we add any landscaping, I would put some landscaping along the entrances of the driveways. Again, low growth plantings. I could put some landscaping along the front of the structure here, and again at the driveways themselves. I wouldn't envision putting any landscaping in the back of the site, for no reason really. So if that's acceptable, we could definitely provide that at a later date.
Thank you.
Yep.
You're welcome.
The other questions on the landscaping, we had the waivers.
Yep.
What else? I'm sorry, I've lost track.
Don't worry, I have a list. I'm good.
Thank you.
I guess so. With regards to the overall lots themselves, the existing lot lines are essentially right here and here, and then the other lot is off the page. So as you can see, even if we were required, and I don't believe we are required, so to speak, to keep just the development on 2 lots, we could still have the development within 2 lots. This third lot was, as Sandra was sort of discussing earlier, when we started looking at the project and we realized that the zoning was 120, whether it's 120 or 20, whatever it is, my client had gone back to the seller, explained the situation, and they, added this third lot into the mix to meet the 120,000 square feet. But we don't really, quote unquote, need that additional 40,000 square feet because we still are keeping everything within the 2 lot limit. Again, it's more of a legal thing, whether, how that's going to work out. But I believe the site plan would be, approved with using 2 lots or 3 lots. But currently we are proposing to use all 3 lots as part of the application. And then lastly, with regards to the stormwater, Mr. Diskin is correct. The table 1 does say there'll be no change or decrease because for the 2-year storm we have 0, for the 10-year storm we have -0.2, and for the 100-year storm we have 0. So we have a reduction or no increase in the peak rate of runoff. On page 6 of the report where it says there'll be a decrease, that was just a typo. It really should have been a decrease or no increase. And it's a minor really item, to be honest with you.
And Mr. Chair, I just wanted to bring to the applicant's attention just one minor thing I did catch in the staff report, that now that we have a local stormwater bylaw and regulations, even though they submitted the stormwater calculations and study, we do need to issue a formal stormwater management permit under our new guidelines. So they will need to fill out the paperwork for that and get that form going. And I can send that to them tomorrow.
Yep, and we have no issue with that, Mr. Chairman.
Great, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're trading typos now, aren't we? I'm sorry. I appreciate it. It's going to generate agita for some and work for others. But I do appreciate that Mr. Diskin came across it and brought it up as soon as he did.
Mr. Chair,
yes,
while you were talking, I went over and I grabbed my copy of the 2009 zoning bylaw, which I believe is the correct one. And I'm looking in the dimensional table, and my copy says 120,000 square foot for light industrial.
Yes.
But page 72. So, I mean, perhaps Ken is correct, but my copy has a 120,000. So we'll have to look into this further, because
I'm going to ask if everybody can just take a breath right now. We're not going to resolve this in this meeting. Okay. So I think what we would like to do, I don't want anybody to be wrong. I don't want anybody to be right. I want it to be correct and everybody working from the same playbook. So if you all don't mind, we'll take a deep breath on this one and see what we can do. I'm not sure what the action items are for this. We were going to discuss this under new business later in the meeting. As I said, I'm not sure what the action items are for it, but hopefully the applicant will be comfortable with me making this statement that we're going to work on this as quickly as we can and let you know what the impact is and the outcome is. Is that acceptable to you all?
With respect to the square footage requirement?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Are you going to be scheduling the site walk this evening?
I'm sorry, you broke up on me.
She asked if we could schedule the site visit this evening.
Oh, yeah, we can't do it tonight, but we can schedule it tonight.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
schedule the site visit, correct.
Come on, guys. Mark, you had asked about another site meeting on Friday?
Right, McDonald's is requesting a pre-construction meeting at 10 a.m. on Friday.
Okay.
But we could do a little later in the day if we want to. Friday, I believe the weather is supposed to be decent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even the 10 a.m. on Friday is gonna be a push for me. I don't know about the
Okay.
rest of the board members. I'm actually looking at the weather down there right now.
Right.
And I think we have a request for earlier in the day, if I'm not mistaken, for other board members, as early as possible. Is that a yes from the best time for us? Okay. Okay, good. So, how soon would the proponent be able to do something?
Mr. Yeah, I am, okay, sorry.
Yes, please.
I
Jump
didn't know if
right
I was,
in.
I didn't know if I was
No.
muted. I
It's
think
okay.
it becomes more scheduling purposes to get the crew out there and physically survey the information and provide the information. I don't believe between now and Friday, we would have enough time to get our crew and mobilize to get somebody out there.
Okay, so I'm happy to leave it this way. To answer your question, Sandra, are we willing to schedule it tonight? I think so, but I don't think we're in a spot to actually schedule it tonight. We're pretty good about scheduling stuff by email for site visits and stuff. Everyone just locked up on me. Oh, good.
Oh.
Can you
Yeah, I
hear
was
me?
going to mention, Mr.
Yes.
Chair, I can coordinate the site visit for any time next week that the applicants and the planning board can make. And we also we have to coordinate with the police chief and the fire chief to have them out there, of course.
Thank
Yeah,
you. You
Mr.
all
Chairman.
froze on me, so I missed that, but go ahead, Chris.
Sure. Right now, I would say earlier in the week, either Monday or Tuesday would work for me. I think that would give our survey crew enough time to be able to stake something out.
Okay, I'm able to make something next week, early in the week. I've had multiple requests right now from people in the chat about making site walks open to the public. I do not know if we can do that or not, and we will have to answer that question at another time. I don't know if you all heard that or not.
We heard it.
Yes, whether
Thank
the public could be
No, what's
invited.
happening is my screen is going from motion in every box to sitting still because of the connection up here. So, okay. We'll find out about that. I know I have made a request as a member of the planning board to go on to site walks with other boards in town. And I have not always been welcome for different reasons. So we have to look into that. Anything else we need to take care of with this from the members of the board? Yes, Mr. Diskin?
Yeah, in general, the site walks that I've asked to attend in the past have never been attended by the public. So just my own experience.
I agree. I understand that. Any other requests or information from anything else from the board members regarding the site plan review for 99 Fitchburg Road at this point? Mark, we've got what we need to do to get to the next steps.
Yes, and I'm going to recommend Tuesday myself because I have a medical appointment Monday morning.
Okay.
So if it's okay with both the planning board and the applicant, I was going to try to organize something for Tuesday, the 19th in the morning, early, if that sounds good.
Mark, I would need to be later, Wednesday or later.
I'm sorry,
What was that,
Nathan, would
John?
you repeat that?
Yeah, Nathan needs
Nathan.
Wednesday or later.
Okay. So the request is to actually Wednesday or later in the week, please, Mark.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thursday's best for me.
And Thursday works for Mr. Diskin. I will
Oh,
say
okay.
either Wednesday or Thursday works for me. So,
All right, well,
you know
then
what?
Thursday.
If we pick Thursday, the 21st, there's a chance that the proponent can actually get out there and get the work done without really hustling.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yeah.
I'm unavailable on Thursday and Friday of next week.
Uh,
We get the phone.
We're gonna have to push it to the following week then. Okay, tell you what, let's excuse me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm cycling right now and I'm getting cramps in my legs. So if I stand up, it's nothing you said. You want to go to Tuesday, the 26th, Mark?
yeah, that would be fine.
How's that for
Yeah.
people? Tuesday morning, the 26th, 2 weeks out? It's the morning of our planning board meeting anyway. We'll get to see each other in person with masks on. And then we'll meet again at night without our masks. No. Okay, so Tuesday, 26th, what time would work?
With
I don't know
9
how far
a.m.
you all have to travel.
Yeah, I'm not sure how.
We do like to
how
do stuff.
far they-
I live
We
I
do
live in
like to-
I live in Chelmsford, so it's not that big, it's not that bad for me. And I think I'm really
Okay.
the only one that would be attending on behalf of the team anyway.
Great.
Okay, would
So
would
can you
9
do a
a.m.
9
be
a.m.?
good?
I can do 9 a.m. Absolutely.
Okay. So we're putting it in the book for 9 a.m. on the 26th.
And Mr. Chairman, I'll have our field crew stake out the center line of the driveway, a couple corners of the propane tank area, a couple corners of the building, and in the approximate, well, in the corners of the lot lines at the roadway itself.
Fantastic. I was half listening and I apologize. We also want them to, if they can give any indication of where the proposed driveway aprons would be,
Yes.
that would be helpful. You may have said that and I apologize if I'm repeating what you just said, but if I don't put it in the book, it don't happen. So it's there. Okay. Thank you.
And
Yes.
Mark, will you be getting back to me tomorrow about the lot size requirement? Obviously, it's something
yes.
that have to deal with the seller of the property about sooner rather than
Yes.
later.
What I will do is I will check with the town clerk who is the keeper of all the official records. So it's possible that some of the copies that we have may have, some mistake. But I will check with the town clerk who is the keeper of the official zoning bylaw copies going back to when zoning was adopted. And I will check with her. I will check with the building commissioner as well. And yes, I can get back to you tomorrow.
Great, appreciate it very much.
And we appreciate your patience on it, and not blowing up on us
No,
about
no.
this one. So, okay, great. Anything else on the site plan review for 99 Fitchburg Road? Jonathan, I saw your hand move. Are you all set?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
Thank
great.
We'll just
Mr.
need to
King?
continue.
Do we get public input?
Thank you. That's where I'm
Right.
going for. Thank you very much, Nathan. So we have public input. We've had some input through the chat. So I'm going to, there's one question on the chat was the trucks, all of them will be entering and exiting from Fitchburg Road only, question mark. That I believe is from Mr. Audette again. And I see your head shaking yes, Chris?
Yeah, everything, the two driveways are located along Groton Shirley Road. Those are the only two access points for the development.
The request was along Fitchburg Road. Is that the same street at that point? I know our streets changed name.
I believe.
Could you open up the plan again, please?
Sure can. I think maybe our survey may show a little bit more of a.
Thank you.
So here is Groton Shirley, and it's tough to. So again, difficult to see, but this is Groton Shirley, and looks like this is Fitchburg. So we're coming into Fitchburg. So this would essentially be Fitchburg, and this is Groton Shirley. So everything, as you can see,
Okay, it just broke up on me. Could you go back to that last screen, please?
Sure
The one with the red lines, thanks.
Yep. So this is basically Fitchburg Road, and then this is Groton Shirley.
Okay, I can't follow, okay.
Fitchburg is here,
Yes,
and Shirley
And-
is.
Groton Shirley is there.
Yep.
And if you'll, it's hard for me to point on this.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
I think from the chat, I think the issue is that it's understood now that the entrance and exit are on Groton Shirley Road. But I believe that what Mr. Audette is asking is whether the trucks are going to exclusively access Groton Shirley Road and therefore the site from Fitchburg Road or from possibly the other end of Groton Shirley Road.
Yes, that's correct.
well done, Mr. Krantz.
Yeah, and that's something we would have to get back to the board on.
Thank you. Because as I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when you come over on the 26th, and I'm sure you've been to the property, drive down Groton Shirley Road. And Groton Shirley Road is a residential neighborhood, and they probably don't want the trucks that aren't serving their neighborhood. We're all getting tired of the delivery trucks in our lives. Though they're saving our lives, but it's a double-edged sword. So thank you very much, Mr. Audette, for confirming that. And Jonathan, thank you so much for that, because I was obviously confused. So do we have other public input that do we have other public input?
I'm here, Sarah Withy.
Hey, Sarah, how are you today, Sarah?
I'm good. I just wanted to say that that's a really important point, because it's like the town of Ayer is zoning and permitting this property, but it's like, and it's on an Ayer road, the access points, but it's the state road, so it's like, there's just a very like delicate relationship. And I know that businesses can get out Fitchburg Road, because I've seen it for another day, but they can use that road. And we just also just went through this process of getting the road repaved in Ayer. So, and on this road, and we didn't know that any of this was happening. So this is going a little bit fast. I just want to note that. But the other thing is, I got two more questions. Is there still a plan for marijuana to go on this site? Do you know?
Marijuana,
And
where'd that come from?
yeah, like in 2015, the Board of Selectmen voted to not contest the application at this property. And it's a big property. It's like 12 acres altogether. And this is like 3 acres, like on the front.
So we don't have in front of us right now an application for a marijuana facility. So we can't actually speak to that. And from the shaking of the head of the engineer, I don't think he's planning on putting any marijuana on the property they're talking about.
Oh,
So
sure.
we may not have, well, it may be on the property, but they're not going to grow it and dispense it from there. But I'm sorry, go ahead. And your other question?
Well, I have two other things. One is like the truck limit. There's like a big property there. Like I said, I think it's like 12 acres or something. And like, in the past, I know that I've had this question about like how many trucks can come down from this property at me. It's just been like an issue, a concern I've had. And I don't think there's any limit on how many trucks they can actually put there. So it'd be helpful if the planning board could like speak to that in some way. And the last thing I just want to say is everything like about the curb cuts that Ken was saying, like it's really very important. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So if I can translate your questions, how many trucks can go down the street? And I think the way we look at this as a planning board and the way applicants come to us is with the traffic they expect to produce on the property.
Mhm.
At this point, if I can paraphrase, it's larger trucks bringing deliveries in, and I think it was 4 to 5 times a week, if I recall. And then the smaller trucks doing the delivery business on an as-needed basis with the higher traffic volume in the wintertime. Did I paraphrase that correctly? to the proponent, pretty much. Do you guys have anything in the way of truck counts that you could share with the board? Maybe that would be helpful on an existing property of a similar size.
I'm not sure about a similar size. I was told for this site, their anticipation was during the height of the winter, which is the busiest time that this property would be used. It's 1 to 2 transport trucks, 4 to 5 days a week, no Sundays unless there's an emergency. And the bobtails should not exceed 6 to 9 trucks per day. And that includes if they have sales to other residential suppliers. Energy North itself uses 2 to 3 trucks on the site. So those other trucks are only if the business includes sales to other residential suppliers, which of course they're hoping that that will become a part of that business. So that's the total truck anticipation for this site. And most of those are the small bobtails, other than those 1 to 2 transport trucks, 4 to 5 days a week.
And so if I do the math quickly, 1 to 2 transport trucks, call it 2, 4 to 5 days, call it 5 days, that's 10 transport trucks a week. And if we're looking at 9 bobtails in the busiest section times 7 days, it's 81, it's 81 a week. So we're at about 91 approximately trucks a week. That's how I would translate that.
Right. And again, that would be in the heart of the winter, not
Okay.
for most of the year. Yeah.
But what if
Okay,
it
thank you.
increases? Like, what if your business gets better in like 2 years, or like not better, but what if you get more orders and there's more need?
Those numbers are anticipating growth. That 69 trucks per day anticipates what they're hoping the growth will be for the site for other residential suppliers. So that has growth, that has the anticipated hoped for growth built into those numbers.
So in other words, that's your worst case scenario, if I may.
Where does
I see
where
Chris
does
shaking his head.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, thank you. No, Sarah, I appreciate that. We really do appreciate that. Mr. Diskins raised his hand.
Yeah, it's obviously important point that Sarah is bringing up. So my question is going to be to the board and to Mark Ashimbo. When and if we come to the approval, can we condition the number of vehicles that can be parked on the site and use the site? That's ultimately what I'm asking. In our final approval, I'd like to see it, find out if we can condition so that the gravel area, for instance, doesn't end up just being a parking lot for more trucks once we give them the approval, or in the future, the use changes somewhat. So I'm asking that for to research it as we go forward. That's all.
And I appreciate that. And I was actually going to ask Mark offline to find out what other communities in his planners community, how other communities are handling sites like this for limiting the amount of traffic, because it can have a detrimental impact. I'm also curious, and I need to find this out from Chief Gill, if he's the right person. How do we manage certain types of traffic traveling down certain roads we have? This came up in an unrelated case with what's going on with the music venue across the border on our side of town. So I think there's a couple of open questions for the planning board. We may or may not be able to impact those. Do we have other questions or points from the public? There's a question about what is the emergency plan for leaks, fires, spills at this location with residential properties downwind from the location? Do you have any, has that been handled?
That comes up when they apply to the fire marshal for their permits and whatnot.
I believe so.
I did do one with the fire department that will be submitted to the state for further review.
Yeah.
Okay, so I recommend the folks who are concerned about that. It's not been approved by the state at this point. Is it something? Is it a document that that they can request from the fire department or the fire marshal? Or how does that work? I'm unfamiliar with that. If a resident wants to know, is that possible?
The fire department has the record.
Okay, thank you. So I would ask that they please contact the chief, or just contact the fire department. I'm sure somebody will be able to help you. We got a great fire department in town. They're very helpful. Other questions from folks at this point? I assume that's it for now. Thank you very much to the proponents for coming before the board. We'll get some questions answered as quickly as we can. Apologize for the little kerfuffle about the size, but we'll figure that out as quickly as we can and be in touch with you as quickly as possible. And Mark, you've got all the contact information you need for this? You're on mute, Mark, but I see you saying yes, so I'm gonna read your lips and say you
Yes,
said
I do.
yes.
And I believe Sandra would like me to contact her as a primary contact for the
Sure, I'd
lot size
appreciate that.
question.
I'd appreciate that,
Thank
Mark.
you.
I'll make sure everybody gets the information they need.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Without any further ado, I think we want to continue the site plan review.
I make a motion, we continue the site plan review to our next air planning board meeting
For 99 Fitchburg Road.
for 99 Fitchburg Road. Yes.
Thank you. Moved and seconded by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Ms. Murray. Any further discussion? Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Diskin,
Aye.
Mr. Krantz,
Aye.
and Ms. Murray?
Aye.
Aye, chair votes aye. Thank you very much, all. Look
Thank
forward
you very
to
much.
getting this moved forward.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you
evening.
very much.
Have a great evening, guys.
You too.
And I almost said have a safe drive home, but I have a feeling not a lot of driving is going to happen right now. So next on our list is the continued public hearing for the special permit for 14 Washington Street and the continued public plan review. I'm sorry, continued site plan review for 14 Washington Street as our next two agenda items. And I think we will ask Mr. Archibald to give us a little bit of information before we take any action.
Yep. Okay. The most recent extension that was granted to the planning board from the applicants and from GPR takes us to October 15th on this case. Today is October 12th, so we have 3 days left in that period. I communicated with Cal Goldsmith at GPR today, telling him that we really would like to, we really believe as a planning board and staff that the project is likely beyond the scope of what they originally submitted in early 2020, and that we would appreciate them getting us a letter granting us withdrawal of the applications without prejudice. And Cal Goldsmith said, you know, that sounds reasonable, but yet he would have to check with the owner, Calvin Moore, about that before he can get a such letter. And I was hoping that he would be able to communicate with me by the end of their working day that such letter would be forthcoming, but so far I have not heard. But you know, rest assured, I will make sure that we get something from them before October 15th. I think the worst case scenario then would be if the owner is not ready to let go, they would probably give us another extension, during which time we can discuss planning board options within that. If the planning board is going to take action on its own without the granting of permission, so to speak, from the applicant, then I think we need to get town council involved, since I wouldn't want there to be any, you know, big mistakes made as far as the process by which the planning board might deny the plan or otherwise cancel it out.
I'm confused. Mark.
Yes.
Just thinking of
Jonathan, let's let Mark finish, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, we've been carrying this plan forward from the early spring of 2020. My understanding is the current owner, Kelvin Moore, is in the process of selling the property. I am not sure if it actually has been legally sold yet, if a purchase and sale has been consummated. But, you know, I did let Cal Goldsmith, who is the agent, know that, you know, we believe that, you know, a lot of time has gone by. when and if they do get us a new plan under a new owner, it is likely to be fairly different from the one that we were originally looking at. And that for all of those reasons, I thought I requested a letter from them withdrawing their applications for both the site plan and the special permit without prejudice, so that they would have to start all over again with a new plan.
Yeah. And if I may, Jonathan, jump in on this. We still don't have a definitive answer on the special permit for the parking that was applied for. And should the use of the building not change and they want to do what they do, and we decline or we do not accept that special permit, that special permit has to sit for, I think, 2 to 3 years before they can reapply to the board. The current use of the building is to turn it into residential, which is something that we thought was a positive for the neighborhood. So we're kind of stuck in this legal limbo right now. There has been health issues on the proponent side. There has also been, unfortunately, coronavirus slowed us down at one point. I would hope that we had taken care of this evening. This does not mean that we cannot not accept their withdrawal. If they come forward with a letter asking for a withdrawal without prejudice, we can choose to not accept it. I'm not sure where that goes. And the question is, I'm not sure where it goes, Jonathan. I don't have the answer.
But my issue is today is the 12th, right?
Yep.
This expires the 15th. Even if they get a letter, how can we even, we won't even be convening to make a determination on it until the 24th, and it's too late.
Oh,
And there's an expectation on my part that the letter says to mark the 24th.
well, actually, the letter to withdraw would be, we withdraw our application. That's what the
Yeah.
letter would say. We, the applicant there, we withdraw our applications for the site plan and the special permit, period. I don't believe that requires planning board action.
But
You
what
know,
if they
if
don't
they-
submit that letter, Mark? That's my concern. Do they get constructive approval on the 15th?
Well, we would make sure that they get us since they've been wanting to play nice with us, they would get us an
They've been up
extension
playing
for a
nice with
short
us at
period
all.
of time.
Who's playing nice?
No, well, that's
We've
where
asked
the
for that
town
for
council will
months.
have to come in.
We've asked them for that. We've asked them for a letter for months now. We've been extraordinarily patient, and this
Yep.
is now at the wire. I think it's time's up.
Yeah, I know. I apologize for not pushing it until recently, but yeah, I just would caution the board not to, without knowing all the legal ramifications, if the board decides to deny, or I should say, deny the plan this evening, then I'm not sure what the legal ramifications could be without having had a chance to discuss all of this with town council.
What,
So I have
what if we haven't discussed what's going to happen in the next 3 days with town council?
Exactly.
So we really have no information. I'm not typically of a mind that the town council can help us much with this. It's our responsibility as a board, I think, to decide what needs to be done.
Okay, so do we want to open a public hearing on this and take action? I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Yeah, I make a motion. We open the continued public hearing for the special permit for 14 Washington Street.
Second,
Seconded.
Moved by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Mr. Diskin. He beat you to it, Ms. Murray. Any further discussion on opening it? All in favor, Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Diskin. How do you vote?
aye.
Mr. Krantz, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Ms. Murray, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. So we have an open public hearing. Is there anybody here from the proponent? Hearing nobody. Okay. So we've had in front of us a request. And I'm sorry, this is a special permit we have open, correct? And the special permit in general terms talked about if I remember correctly, and Mr. Archambault, you may refresh my memory, but I think we gave them a special permit in order to allow parking that was not in compliance with our current parking in the area closest to the building at 14 Washington Street. Is
Right,
that
it
a
has to
decent?
do with the setback from the building and also, I believe, a provision of off-site parking. Because they
Which was going-
anticipated
yep.
needing to park some of the cars in a different lot, not attached
In it-
to the building.
In an adjacent lot that was
Yep.
controlled at the time by the proponent. And we do not know what the control of that lot's going to be going forward with the change in the ownership of the property.
Yep, correct.
Okay, do we have any further discussion on that, or does anyone want to make a motion?
I have a comment.
Yes,
I mean,
Mr. King.
Is it possible to, make it sunset at October 15th? And
I'm sorry, you broke up on me.
so can we, is it possible to deny the permit as of October 15th, short of a withdrawal?
Sounds like a Hail Mary on their behalf for them.
That is the last straw.
Yeah, I think Nathan, has offered the most generous thing we can do at this point.
Okay. Listen, guys, if nothing were fair. I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, I don't know what that was.
I muted it.
Thank you very much. Oh, Julie, you're there. Thank you. Excellent. Do
Do
we
I have to
have a
get voted
motion?
in for that role?
I'm sorry?
Like, is there like a Zoom clerk or a Zoom assistant?
Don't go there, because a lot of people in the Commonwealth will all of a sudden have important jobs. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me think. Let's think about the wording. So as of Mark, well, how long will you be in the office on the 15th? What is the 15th? Thursday?
Friday, isn't it?
Friday.
Yeah.
So noon.
2.
Let's call it noon.
All right.
We get to play hardball now and again, right?
Sure.
So what we're attempting to put together is a motion that will deny the request for special permit for 14 Washington Street on Friday, October 15th at 12 o'clock noon PM, 2021. Does that cover it?
I would think we don't want, would we permit an extension or only a withdrawal? I don't know if we can make that conditional.
I will, I'm trying not to use the word spelled with the letters I and F anywhere in my motion. So,
Right, but
okay, if I may, I accept what you're saying, and if I may try. Should the planning board not receive a motion, not receive a letter for continuance or withdrawal by noon Friday, 12 p.m. noon Friday, October 15th, 2021, the application for a special permit for 14 Washington Street is denied.
So moved.
So seconded.
Thank you.
Discussion?
I'm going to ask in a minute, but before we discuss, Heather, is that clear?
Yeah, it sure is.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that, because without anything from the applicant or motion from the board, come the end of the day on the 15th, it's conditionally approved, because hence their request. So
Yep.
Hopefully that motion holds up. I will run it by Carly in the morning just to make sure we don't need to change it and hold an emergency meeting to do so.
Thank you.
I was going to ask the chair to ask Heather to read that motion back, since I couldn't keep up with it fast enough, and we want to make sure we
Oh,
get
come
this
on,
right.
it's not that hard.
Can we get through a
Did
discussion
the
first?
planning board not
yeah.
receive a letter for continuance or withdrawal by 12 p.m. on Friday, October 15, 2021? The special permit for 14 Washington Street is denied.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, Nathan, I definitely want to have a discussion about this, so please go in, jump in.
Are we, like you said, this is a Hail Mary, and I think the most generous. I would be interested in discussing here with the board, calling back an extension and only accepting a withdrawal.
I would accept that as a friendly amendment. However, here's my question. If they take no action, is that an approval?
Denied.
It's
Denied.
not, everything's denied no matter what. Okay,
Denied if they don't get us the withdrawal, if they don't get withdrawal without prejudice, it's denied. Basically, is that what you're saying, Nathan? No,
Yeah,
it's-
because now we're continuing to kick the can.
got it.
And I think the can.
I accept that as a friendly amendment. So I will try and, if the planning board does not get a request for
Withdrawal.
withdrawal without prejudice, by Friday, October 15th, noon, 12 PM noon, the request for a special permit for 14 Washington Street is denied. Did you get that, Mark?
Yep, the request for, yep.
So I will withdraw my original motion and put that motion forward for a second.
Seconded.
okay.
Seconded by me. I'll give it to Mr. Krantz this time. He put his finger up. So moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just final clarification. Sorry for repeating again.
We're working on, go for it.
So final clarification is that the planning board has moved and has been seconded that if the applicant for 14 Washington Street for special permit does not provide a letter requesting a withdrawal without prejudice by 12 noon on Friday, the 15th, their application is denied.
That is what I expected it to mean.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Diskin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Murray, how do you vote?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Thank you very much. Next on our list is a continued site plan review for 14 Washington Street. If I may, I would like to make a motion. First of all, let's continue the, Mr. Krantz, would you please continue?
Like to
Site
make a
plan
motion.
review?
I move that we continue the site plan review for 14 Washington Street.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Krantz, seconded by Mr. Diskin. Do we have any discussion on this? Oh, Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Diskin.
Aye.
Mr. Krantz,
Aye.
Ms. Murray,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Okay, is there anybody from the proponent here for the hearing? Hearing none, do we have a motion, please?
Yes, I'd like to
Mr.
make,
Chair, before you make a motion, may I just ask a question? It's Pauline again from Cambridge Street.
Please, Pauline?
Because if I understand correctly, you are in the middle of a public hearing.
Mhm.
The only question I have is, and I want to be sure I heard something correctly, that if this property at 14 Washington is sold, the new owner must wait 3 years before they can bring a proposal before the planning board? Or did I not hear that correctly?
I will answer for the board. In the situation where there is a special permit request, if a special permit is denied, there is a multi-year waiting period. I'm not sure, Pauline, if it's 2 or 3 years at this point.
Okay,
Right, but I'd like
Okay.
to clarify that just a little bit.
And Mr. Diskin's going to
That's
jump in
not
with some
quite, yeah.
clarification. Please do.
I think
Thank you.
that, just for point of clarification, Pauline, and we'll probably all get some further information about this. I want to think that the special permit denial involves the applicant for that special permit, not potentially a new applicant for the permit. So I'm not sure about that. So I'm not saying the applicant, I'm not sure that the special permit denial affects the address or affects the applicant for a proposed project at that address is what I'm getting at. So
I was wondering.
And-
understood. That was my question.
you.
because It wasn't entirely clear, and I'll just leave it to that. Let you go on with what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pauline. So we are at a point where we're discussing the continued site plan review for 14 Washington Street. That's been clarified about the special permit. Do we have any further discussions or do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that I'm trying to word it the same way you worded the previous one. Forgive me, I'm trying to get the words together.
Let's ask, we can ask Heather to read it back to us.
Heather, could you just read it back so I can say the right words, please?
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing for the site plan. So should the planning board not receive a letter requesting a withdrawal without prejudice by 12 p.m. on October 15th, 2021, the site plan application for 14 Washington is denied.
Yes, so moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
What she said. Yes,
What
thank
she
you very
said,
much,
moved.
Heather.
Yes.
Moved by Mr. Krantz. Do we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. King. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Diskin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Murray, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye to make it unanimous. Thank you very much.
Mark, excuse me.
Yes.
You'll let Cal and the applicant know first thing tomorrow morning about our decision?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And one more thing, if I
Yep.
may. I don't think, Mark, just for your information, I don't think it's your fault. I think you've done due
No, of
diligence
course.
in this whole
Right.
project, so I appreciate the work you've been doing.
To be honest with you guys, and I'll probably hate saying this, I'll shoulder a bunch of that responsibility because as we entered into the continuation process, we were kept aware in the beginning of what was going on. The players have changed, the grounds things have changed enough dramatically that we need to get this off our plate and have it come back to us as a new application, if so. And I don't think we're stepping on any toes at this point. Can we close this can we close the hearing in the site plan review, please?
So
We need
moved.
to
Jeff?
close them. Yep, thank
Jeff,
you. Go ahead.
I understand, until we receive a letter and what we're gonna be doing on the 15th on Friday, it's just we keep the hearing open, just in case that letter through draw does come in and we're gonna have to address it at the next meeting. If we close the hearing now, we cannot bring it up again in another meeting without a new publication.
Thank you very much, Heather.
You're
So
welcome.
I would recommend we have two motions to continue the public hearing for special permit and the plan review, site plan review.
When
I know, we just said
No,
no, but now we're
wait,
saying
wait,
maybe.
wait.
And I know it sounds weird, but if it
I
does
get it.
come in, we're gonna have to discuss it.
Okay.
And just
make a
until I
motion.
know exactly how the clarifications of everything's gonna work, I'd rather keep it open than have it closed tonight and have whatever issue come through on Friday.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
the motion still stands, it is denied, and all you're gonna be doing at on the meeting on the 26th is just closing the hearing.
Right, and I back up Heather's thought because there may in fact be a point at which we have to write a decision that matches up with what we moved. So that gives us time to write a decision if Mark needs time between now and the next meeting.
Thank you. Okay, so the motion is Mr. Krantz.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion. We continue the public hearing for the special permit 14 Washington Street through to October 20, our next meeting on October 26, 2021.
Second. Second.
Thank you for the motion and the second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Diskin?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz?
Aye.
Ms. Murray?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I'd like to make a motion to continue the site plan review for 14 Washington Street through our next meeting on October 26, 2021.
Second.
Thank you for the motion, Mr. Krantz, and the second, Mr. Diskin. Any discussion? Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Diskin?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz?
Aye.
Ms. Murray?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, making it unanimous. Next on our agenda is a town planner update. Or Mark's
Nope.
doing all this stuff in the corner of my screen, and now he's got to stop to talk.
No, I don't have anything special to update the board this evening, except I would like to get the traffic RFP out this week. And so, I believe Mr. Diskin told me that he was happy with it. So Jeff, if you have a chance to just look at it. Yeah, my understanding is the applicant has hired VHB to do their traffic study. So one component of ours will be to check theirs. But I don't anticipate that they will be delving as deeply into all of the items that I wrote up, and with the help of several people, including everybody here, as VHB
Yeah,
would
so
do.
I'm gonna,
So,
yeah, if I'll
Yep.
I'm just gonna paraphrase very quickly. This is a time sensitive and an issue that takes time to get taken care of. Mr. Archambault has taken the lead on putting together an RFP for the Stratton Hill project. I know we will not discuss the Stratton Hill project, but we're gonna end up behind the 8 ball. So what Mr. Archambault did is he received multiple documents, some actually from Stratton Hill abutters, and he's put them together, melded them together into a traffic study. And he would like permission from the board to present it to the applicant. Mr. Dissing's read it. I'll be honest with you, I've read it too. Probably not skilled enough, but it does bring, the question is not level of service as much as level of safety. And I think Mark's built that into this. Do you concur, Mr. Diskin?
Yeah, that was, for this size of the project, extremely comprehensive is the word I would use.
Exactly. So that is just something that it's something that happens in the background on projects like this anyway. We needed to get it done. So Mark went ahead and did it. And that's what he's talking about. Mark, I'd ask you to circulate a copy with the rest of the board, please.
yes,
And of course, you have my blessing. And yes, I did read it. I have been on the road a little bit. I promised to be back in Ayer soon. And I hope to spend the whole winter there this year. But thank you very much. Anything else you got in the way of announcements, Mark?
nope, that's it.
I want to,
Okay.
Jeff, I want to go back and chat about the lot size with Mark for a minute and thank him for going back to look at the table, which I did not do, but I want to tell him what I did do. And that was, looks like the issue is in the previous edition of the zoning bylaw, because if you go to, you have the old bylaw with you still there, Mark?
Yeah, it's on the shelf here. I'm getting it. Yep.
In
Okay.
the previous rendition of the bylaw, there was a great breakdown of each zoning district
Oh, right. Yeah.
with a narrative, which I thought was an improvement and should have actually stayed there in the new. But we
Yes.
didn't leave it in the new because we were told we needed to abbreviate and get rid of all these nice narratives. It said basically in light industrial, you can do these items, A, B, C, D, all the way down the line. And
Yep.
it broke down each section. So if you go to page 36,
I see what you're talking about.
So
It's
in
in
the
the narrative is 20,000.
in the breakdown of each, so the reason
Yes.
this came up was because just using logic, okay, first of all, we have not had a proposal in the light industrial district since we changed the zoning regulation. We have not seen one to look at, number one.
Yes.
So we never thought about this size much. But when you think about light industrial, then you compare it to industrial and you see
Right.
in the zoning table that light industrial requires 120,000 square foot lot and industrial only requires a 30,000 square foot lot. You know, by logic, that something is not making sense here.
Right.
So then what I did is I looked at the narrative section of the, Mark
Yes.
will now concur because he's looking at it.
I see
In
it.
that section, it says 20,000 square feet. So it looks like, based on Mark's research, which I didn't get to the old table, I only went to the narrative, that we had a typo in the old table as well at 120,000. And
Yeah.
that was not a typo in the new, it simply duplicated the old table at 120,000.
Right.
Because we never researched it with a project, it stayed there. I don't know how this is going to get resolved. So in defense of Mr. Schultz, he opens the table, looks at 120 and saying,
Right.
this is what would happen in real time. And boom, it's 120.
You're right. Yeah. The narrative says 20,000 and the table says 120,000.
But just pure logic says wait a minute, why
Yes,
would we have an
I know.
industrial size of
That's-
30 in a light industrial bigger, 5 times bigger, 6 to whatever it is,
Yes.
4 or 5 times bigger, 4 times bigger.
Okay,
So
No,
thank
that's
you
the
very
logic.
much. Thank you. You couldn't get this done between 4 and 5 today, Ken?
That's why I was a few minutes late. I was still.
Come on, Ken.
that is a big mistake for somebody to have made in the prior bylaw. That's
So, I think
100,000
so.
square feet.
Let's,
Great idea is
But-
a proposed idea.
okay,
Somehow-
we currently have, yeah, we currently, and I don't want to get any farther into this because I don't
Okay.
want to discuss, we don't have proponents in the room.
Right.
Okay.
No, this
Mark?
is old
Yeah.
business, new business anyway.
This is internal to the town
I-
and stuff like that.
I
I
will
think the next step
research.
is,
Yes,
the next step, research, Mark, and if you need it, I'm sure Mr. Diskin or I am more than happy to be involved in a conversation with Carly should it need to happen. And we should be looking prospectively on what this correction means, not retrospectively, in my
Correct.
opinion, because I can't think of a light industrial we've done in a long time. We've had people come to
don't
us
think-
for stuff, but we haven't had a plan, not that I can think of in the 7 years I've been involved. That's nothing. But so I appreciate the work, Mr. Diskin, again, so
The
I've
bigger
got
issue
spotty-
is really to get this resolved. So that
we're getting it
plan
resolved,
Yes.
which is good.
Future, for any project in the future. It's getting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just, Ken was explaining this to me. I was on my cell phone and I had bad connection. And he was giving me the numbers and I was trying to do the math in my head and I couldn't. So I
well, thank
appreciate
you,
you doing
Ken.
this. I really do.
Yeah, that's,
So. Okay.
I'll talk to
we've got
Charlie first thing and the town clerk second, and then I'll give you a call, Ken.
Well, no,
Excellent.
not tomorrow. I'll be playing
Yeah.
golf. So,
Oh, okay, but we'll get on this right away.
Ken gets, what is it, Wednesday mornings off? Yep. Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Did I hear there's a McDonald's walk on Friday?
Yeah, I've got it
Yes.
on my list under administrative. So
Oh.
we're gonna get to meeting minutes first, Nathan, because we
Okay.
aren't gonna let him go. Mr. Krantz does an amazing job of meeting minutes. I appreciate it. Because I print them out and I start reading them. And Heather's so happy she doesn't get copies from me of things anymore with highlights and stuff, I'm sure. But let's take care of the meeting minutes for September 14th, to September 28th, please.
Do you want to do the 14th first?
Yes, please.
I make a motion, that we accept the meeting minutes for September 14th, 2021.
second.
Moved and seconded, moved by Mr. Krantz, second by
I
Mr.
can't
Diskin.
second. Someone else has to second. I didn't attend.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Seconded by Ms. Murray. Thank you very much. Any discussion on the September 14th minutes? Hearing none. Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Murray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Krantz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and assumes that Mr. Diskin is going to abstain.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The September 28th minutes, please.
Yeah,
Mr.
I'd like to
Krantz.
make a motion to accept the September 28th, 2021 Air Planning Board minutes. Oh, shoot, wait, I can't make that motion. I wasn't there. Someone else. I'm
So
sorry.
moved.
Okay.
Second.
I'm sorry. Moved by Ms. Murray, seconded by Mr. King. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none. Mr. Diskin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Murray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. King, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. And Mr. Krantz?
Abstain. I wasn't there.
Abstain. Thank you very much. So I'm laughing because who's there and who wasn't changes the order. I get to read the names on the screen. You're picking on a guy. It's been a long day. Okay, old business. Yes, Mr. There is a proposed McDonald's
Pre-construction. meeting.
reconstruction meeting for
Yep.
Friday at 10 a.m. I got to tell you, except for my stellar entrance at the pre-construction meeting on Central Avenue, where I showed up and fell and rolled down the hill. Yeah, I'm a spaz. I have these moments where I lose my balance.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. And so I found that Mr. Pascalquick does a great job putting together the meeting and things get sussed out. It's
And
very
where will
nice.
this be? Where is this meeting?
I'm
It will
hoping
be
that-
at McDonald's itself in the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's at 10 a.m. in the morning, correct? On Friday?
Correct. Yep.
So I intend to be there. Anybody else intend to be there at this point? I got
Yes.
shake. So, okay, good. Wear something bright. There's gonna be cars in the parking lot, guys. Okay, and I promise I'll ride my bike over this time, but I won't snag the cuff of my pants on it as I'm getting off of it. It was a great roll down the hill, guys. Anything else under old business at this point?
Yes,
Mr. Krantz?
I want to follow up. At the last meeting I attended with you, September 14th, I mentioned my participation in MRPC. In the interim, I had a direct conversation, a long conversation with Glenn Eaton, who's the director of the MRPC. And two things I want to share with you. One is that it's pretty obvious that the more a town participates, the more opportunities there are for that town. I just want us to keep that in mind. So I do want to be active. The second thing is that Glenn would like to speak to us. He's doing like a kind of tour of the different towns in the MRPC around the holiday season, November, December. And he asked me if the board would be interested in hearing a talk about what the MRPC does and what they're doing in the future. And I think that's a great idea. So I want to offer that to us. And I hope that I know we have previous conversations inspired by Mark about education and having speakers. Well, Glenn would be one of them, and he's eager to do it. And I think we should, and I hope that we would extend an invitation for him to speak to our board.
Thank you very much. And I will second that if it's a motion. I think it's a great idea. I do a lot of work with MRPC and MAPC, which are both MPOs. And someone say MOUSC at this point, okay? But they are a arm of the financial government, if you will, that's there to help us out. You are correct when you say with the towns involved, they get funding. Both Mr. Wetzel and Mr. Minoyan, and I know Joanne's been successful in getting funding through them for a bunch of projects, so it's helpful.
And I want to add one more thing, Chair, that I think would be important for us to understand. I asked him pointedly that if we had an idea we wanted funding for, do we have to know in advance what all the bureaucratic byways are? Or could we just bring the idea to them, and would somebody in their team help us figure out what the channels are? And the correct answer is the second. So we can make requests without having a perfect idea how to execute. The MRPC themselves will help us determine or figure out who needs to be contacted and what channels have to be followed.
Yeah, actually, Ayer stepped up for the regional greenway stuff that I've been working on with sister towns around us. And actually we were able to get an application that was pretty much put together with the help of the folks from MRPC for us to do it, and to get under the wire and get the funding for the GIS folks and the people there to help us out with the technical side of it. Because the regional I'm struggling with the words right now. They know what's going on in our region. They also understand that we sit on the border between MA, Middlesex, and Massachusetts, MR. And they actually talk to each other. They know what's going on regionally. Their job is to figure out where there are bridges that are already built, what bridges need to be built. And if you're working on a project in area A and it's going to be influenced and successful in area B, they'll do it. And they are funded through a separate arm of the government. So money is available. It's not always lots of money, but it typically turns into, you get X amount of dollars, which is really 80 hours of this person's expertise to work on your project for you. And that's all they'll do for you. And this is the scheduling of it. So it's actually very, very helpful. It's a very, very helpful thing. I'd love to have Glenn come speak to us. I would request, if I can think about this and thinking about where we're going to be in November, December, I'd like to put Glenn early on the list. And I don't know what he needs for time. Could he do 15 or 20 minutes or less? That'd be fantastic. And if he has materials he wants to send out, we're happy to take a look at them and be prepared when he comes in the door. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. I think you're going to like this a lot, Jonathan, because you're going to like it. every time I talk to somebody on one of the regions, I'm flabbergasted and about how much is actually going on in the world. Anything else under the old business moniker for
Wonder
anybody?
if we can ask MRPC to assist us in determining where the county line is between the town of Ayer and the town of Harvard. As part
You're
of,
just never going to give that one up.
as part of an outreach project for their engineering team. I think
We actually know where it is because that's actually been settled, Mr. Diskin. It's just not been settled to certain people's, that is a question. I'm almost hesitant to send an email about that.
Okay, so I'll move
I'll
on.
percolate on that for this one now.
Just a suggestion for Jonathan to move forward with, so.
Hey, Ken, we got Washington Street off the plate. Okay, one thing at a time. New business. Anybody have any new business they want to talk about?
I want to mention the Aho project, the water line and sewer line connections to Route 2A. Fairly complicated directional drilling. The way I understand it is the water is connected and the loop is complete. That's what I was told by Dan Van Skelwick anyway the other day. And they're still on the sewer. They still have to connect their sewer. So
I was actually in that conversation with Mr. Diskin, and the sewer line has been pulled underneath the pond over there through the right of way. The water connect that was already there was tested, chlorinated, and accepted by the town. So that's all done. There's actually the beginning of a basement over there being dug.
Yeah.
I was in there the other day. And Mr. Aho, in order for him to connect to the town wastewater treatment system, has to come up with a way to move the effluent about 800 feet to a connect that's up on Snake Hill Road. And they're working through the engineering of that right now. It's not a difficult engineering feat. It just has to be engineered, laid out, and the work has to be done. Compliant with the town's needs. Dan didn't think in any way, shape, or form it was going to be a problem. It's just going to be another construction project at this point. I know this must be, we should have talked about it at the beginning. It says adjourn, then it says upcoming meeting, October 26th and November 9th. Is there anything we want to discuss about those meetings, Mark? Or just the upcoming meetings are October 26th, then followed by November 9th? It's just an announcement, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do we have anything else in the new business line or anything else going on for folks on the board? Okay, I took on the idea of talking about Airbnbs, short-term rentals. And what I haven't, I'm just going to paraphrase this quickly. My notes aren't with me. I read through the city of Boston's, and excuse me if I'm repeating myself, I read through the city of Boston's short-term rental policy or bylaw, if you will, regulations. And they are fairly comprehensive and they're very easy to follow. They, however, require the community to have a couple things in place for them to work. In Boston, rental property has to be registered with the city of Boston before it can go into the rental pool. And they actually have, I'm going to call it a report card or a scorecard. There are Boston landlords who allow their properties to fall into disrepair. And if you get a certain number of calls to inspectional services, your property is no longer allowed to be rented and it cannot be used as an Airbnb. But it's their stick. They have a carrot and a stick. They also limit the number of nights that a property can be done in a period of time, 29 days out of a 6-month period, I believe. And if I remember correctly, there's language in there about how many contiguous days you can do. I start looking at our community and I start thinking about short-term rentals. Our experience with the short-term rentals over on Sandy Pond is it's only going to be rented during the season when the pond is usable. It does rent in the off season, but not a whole lot. But if you could say, how many days in a certain period of time is acceptable or is it not acceptable? So I don't have anything to bring forward to the board right now. I can't find any communities that look like us that already have one. So if anybody hears anything about short-term rentals and how communities are handling it, I'd be interested in hearing that. And I'll put this out as general information. I read it in the Lowell Sun over the weekend. The lead article on the first page was a very good article about the new music center over the border in Groton, where they are and where they expect to be. I don't have a copy of the paper anymore, but if you get a chance, go take a look at the Lowell Sun's website and find out what's going on. Excuse me. They are not going to be a 10,000 seat music arena. If I remember correctly, there's a 1,000 seat venue, a 500 seat venue, and then a bunch of smaller venues. They're looking at bringing in world-class talent. There will be great music up there. The Littleton Orchestra wants to move up there, gives them finally gives them a home. They've been in Littleton High School for years. So it's allowing the music in our area to become consolidated in one area. But in what I read through that, I don't think it's going to be a major concert venue, if you will, but there will be traffic going to it and from it. And it may indeed be something that an Airbnb in Ayer would be an attractive opportunity for people to go up there. And that was the reason this was brought to our attention. So I'm just putting that on the table as information. You can all think about that. They don't expect to have their first concerts in Groton until the fall of 2022, given their current construction schedule. And there were a couple of pictures in the paper. They're grainy newsprint pictures, but what a beautiful facility it's going to be. So if you get a chance to take a look at the pictures, it really does look to be a wonderful facility. And it's going to be great to have another world-class music venue, a stone's throw from Ayer. We've got Berkeley downtown. We've got this, we've got Tanglewood farther.
Shirley.
They can keep the rock and roll at Bull Run, right? So I just want to report back on that. If I can find a community that looks like us that's doing something either in our town or close by, even over the border, I'll bring that forward to the board as I get working on that. Anything else from anybody? Hearing none, seeing none. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Krantz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. King. All in favor for adjourning at 8:32 p.m. Please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Mr. King, Mr. Diskin, Ms. Murray, Mr. Krantz, and Mr. Tillotson all said aye. That's for the record. Thank you so much.